Hello everyone and welcome back to In the Huddle. This is our second episode of the sports show on CUTV this fall.
Today's episode is dedicated to Julius Kosgei, a cross-country runner who lost his life last month in a car accident. We'll have more on this story next.
The cross-country team ran last week at the Tiger Chase hosted by ECU with their former teammate in mind.
In the Huddle is next on CUTV. Lost a gifted cross-country runner this past month. Julius Kosgei was killed in a two-vehicle accident just outside of Columbus, Nebraska. Kosgei was a 31-year-old junior from Eldoret, Kenya, and he was working this summer at a church camp in Nebraska. He was on his way back to Oklahoma with his cousin, who also died in the accident. Kosgei's arrival to Cameron this last semester was impressive. He started to turn heads when he set a new record in the 5,000-meter run last spring at the Bobby Lane Invitational. Head coach Matt Aguero says the team wants to do some special things this season to honor Julius and will dedicate the season to him as well.
The number 8 regionally ranked Aggie cross-country team won second place at the 5-team meet at the Tiger Chase hosted by East Central University last week. CU almost won back-to-back meets for the first time in school history. Coach Aguero says his runners ran well but had too many mishaps. Freshman Mark Merritt was Cameron's top finisher with the 5th place finish. Senior Josh Stewart led most of the race but fell behind after losing both of his shoes. The next meet for the cross-country team will be in Stillwater, Oklahoma for the OSU Cowboy Jamboree on October 4th. The Aggies took 17th at last year's Jamboree.
The Aggie volleyball team is back at 500 for the season after beating Incarnate Word 3-1 at the Texas Med Clinic Regional Crossover Tournament hosted by St. Mary's University. The Aggies played a day ahead of schedule due to weather conditions, but we also want to remind you that this season games will be referred to as sets. Sets will be played to 25 points instead of last year's 30-point requirements. Let's take a quick look at the standings in the Lone Star Conference. As you'll see at number 1, we got Midwestern State, who's the only undefeated team with 13 wins in a row. Also, Aggie volleyball will continue at home this week at 7 on Thursday night at the Aggie Gym versus Southwestern Oklahoma. On Saturday, the Aggies will be facing their UCO rivals at a newly renovated Aggie Gym at 2, and all CU fans are encouraged to come out and support the home team. We also have rivals Central Oklahoma at 4-9 under 500, followed by East Central, which is another one of our great rivals.
The Aggies tennis teams tried to kick off their 08-09 season this past weekend at the Charles Cootie Invitational in Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, they were rained out during the second day of the tournament. CU had a men's double team in each of the semifinal matches and 2 players in the top 2 singles semifinals matches. The women had 2 doubles in the semifinal match of the number 1 and number 3 doubles flights, as well as a player in the semifinal match of the number 2 singles flight. The tennis teams will be competing in the Intercollegiate Tennis Regional Championships on September 26th through 28th. The women's teams will compete October 3rd through 5th in Abilene, Texas.
So let's talk some Monday Night Football, Jake. Last night it was the heated rivalry between the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
And as everyone's commentating, it was a pretty historic game.
Well, yeah, it was a big aerial display. There was a lot of passes, a lot of bombs. It was a little bit for everybody who enjoys football, unless you tune in for the defense.
Oh, of course.
It turned out to be 41-37 final score, which if Philadelphia had won, it would have been their 3rd straight victory at home at the Cowboys' home stadium. Donovan McNabb threw his 175th career touchdown pass, which tied him with Ron Jaworski for the most all-time in that franchise. And Romo had a whale of a game, going 21 for 30 for 312 yards, 3 TDs, and only 1 interception.
But most importantly, let's talk about my man T.O., which Chad Johnson is making look like a prince lately. He had his 131st reception, prompter, 20 receptions, 368 reception yards, and he just had a great game the entire game.
Well, yeah, and he also had his he passed Chris Carter, I believe, to become second all-time on the all-time touchdown list. So congratulations go out to T.O.
Now he just follows Jerry Rice in that category. We have a couple of sports announcements students might be interested in. The men's basketball teams will be having tryouts for the next 2 weeks. A couple of rules do apply now. Anyone can try out if You're a full-time student, taking 12 hours, must be good in academic standings, and you must have a copy of a physical within the last 6 months. There will be 2 days, once this week on Thursday and next week on Thursday.
Aggies fans have less than a month to submit their vote for the 2009 Cameron Athletics Hall of Fame class. Nomination forms are available in the Cameron Athletic Department on the 5th floor of South Shepler. You must make your nominations before October 1st for your favorite Aggie, student athlete, coach, administrator, booster, or media representative. The nominees will be announced during Cameron's Alumni Weekend on February 20th and 21st. Remember, the deadline is October 1st, so you guys get those in.
Yeah, make sure you vote, and Jake, we might be seeing you at the basketball tryouts soon, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, I got a little bit of skills I haven't tried to pull out since high school, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to embarrass myself, so we'll see about that. Well, the buzzer has sounded. I know you heard it, and that means we're out of time. For complete statistics on any of the sports events from today's show, log on to goaggies.cameron.edu.
And remember to check out our CUTV lineup on YouTube.com. Just search CUInternetTV with no spaces. Comment and rate any of our shows, including the new Film Geek from a brand new digital studio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jacob Russell.
And I'm Cecilia Ramirez. Until next time, we'll see you in the huddle.